Disclaimer. This video is intended for entertainment purposes only. It is not meant to be taken seriously or as a reflection of reality. Please view this video with discretion. The Ghost Bus of Route 666. In the heart of the American Southwest, there is a stretch of road known as Route 666. It is a desolate highway that winds through the desert, passing by abandoned towns and forgotten landscapes. Rumor has it that Route 666 is haunted, and that a ghostly bus travels its length, picking up unsuspecting passengers and carrying them to their doom. One night, a group of college students decided to test the rumors. They had heard stories about the ghost bus, but they didn't believe them. After all, it was just a silly legend, right? The students drove to the beginning of Route 666 and waited for the bus. They didn't have to wait long. Soon, a creaky old bus appeared in the distance. It was painted black and had no markings on it. The students exchanged nervous glances, but they decided to get on the bus anyway. The bus was empty except for the driver, a gaunt old man with sunken eyes. He didn't say a word as he drove. The students looked at each other, feeling increasingly uneasy. After a while, the bus stopped at a deserted bus stop. The old man opened the door and gestured for the students to get off. "What is this place?" one of the students asked. "This is where you get off," the old man replied in a raspy voice. The students hesitated. They didn't want to get off in the middle of nowhere, but they didn't want to stay on the bus either. In the end, they decided to get off. The old man closed the door and drove away. The students were left standing alone in the dark. They started to walk down the road, but they didn't go very far. Suddenly, they heard a loud screeching sound. They turned around and saw the ghost bus heading towards them. The students screamed and ran, but the bus was faster. It swerved around them and blocked their path. The old man got out of the bus and walked towards them. "You should have stayed on the bus," he said. The students begged for mercy, but the old man was unmoved. He raised his hand and pointed at them. The students screamed as they felt their bodies being pulled towards the bus. They tried to resist, but it was no use. They were sucked into the bus through the windows and doors. The old man laughed as he watched the students disappear. Then, he got back in the bus and drove away, leaving no trace behind. The students were never seen again. Some say that they are still trapped on the ghost bus, doomed to ride it for all eternity. Others say that they were taken to the underworld, where they are being punished for their sins. Whatever happened to the students, one thing is for sure, Route 666 is a haunted highway. If you ever find yourself driving down it, be careful. You never know when the ghost bus might appear. Years later, a group of paranormal investigators decided to investigate the Route 666 ghost bus legend. They had heard the stories, and they were determined to find out if they were true. The investigators set up camp at the deserted bus stop where the students had disappeared. They spent days waiting for the bus to appear, but it didn't come. Just when they were about to give up, they heard a loud screeching sound. They looked up and saw the ghost bus heading towards them. The investigators were terrified, but they were also excited. This was their chance to finally prove that the ghost bus was real. The bus stopped in front of the investigators. The old man got out and walked towards them. "Welcome to my bus," he said. "Would you like to ride?" The investigators hesitated. They knew that the bus was dangerous, but they couldn't resist the temptation to find out what happened to the students. They got on the bus and found themselves in a dark and empty space. There were no seats, and the only light came from a few flickering candles. The old man led them to the back of the bus and showed them a door. "This door leads to the underworld," he said. "If you want to know what happened to the students, you must go through this door." The investigators looked at each other. They were scared, but they were also determined to find out the truth. They opened the door and stepped through. They found themselves in a dark and gloomy place. The air was thick with the smell of sulfur. The ground was covered in bones and skulls. The investigators walked through the underworld, following a path that led them deeper and deeper. After a while, they came to a large chamber. In the center of the chamber was a cauldron of boiling lava. Sitting around the cauldron were the students who had disappeared years ago. They were all chained down, and their faces were twisted in pain. The old man appeared behind the investigators. "This is where the students are punished for their sins," he said. "They will stay here for all eternity." The investigators were horrified. They tried to turn and run, but the old man blocked their path. "You're not going anywhere," he said. "You're staying here with the students." The investigators screamed as they were dragged towards the cauldron. They were pushed into the boiling lava, and their screams were drowned out by the sound of the bubbling magma. The old man laughed as he watched the investigators disappear. Then, he turned and walked away, leaving them to their fate. The ghost bus of Route 666 is a deadly trap. If you ever find yourself on that highway, be careful. You never know when the bus might appear. And if it does, don't get on. Thank you to all of you viewers on the World's Nature YouTube channel for watching this story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the World's Nature channel. Your likes and subscriptions help us to create more great content for you. Take care and goodbye.